What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is the first video that you are stumbling on my channel. That might be a good thing if you can relate, and if not, then I have plenty of other videos that you can watch if you are not in a relatable situation or want to hear about mine. So, with that being said, today's video is going to be probably pretty difficult to talk about because I don't talk about it much, and I want to put it out there now that what I'm saying does not by any means make my ex a bad person. Kind of. What he did to me was bad, and the way that he treated me was bad, but that doesn't mean that every part of him is all bad. And I am by no means trying to trash him or make him look a certain way. Me and him have discussed our issues time and time again, and we just really can't come to a common ground on being in each other's lives. And what I'm saying by no means that I hate him and don't ever want to speak to him again and da, 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 da. I've been through every phase of every possible scenario you could think of in this relationship, and it just kind of comes back to not really speaking to each other. So that got really deep really fast. So let me preface this by saying it will get really deep really fast. There are very few people who know the whole story, and I guess that's about to change because I'm about to tell the entire world and whoever may be watching behind the computer screen, including people that I may know in real life, which is frightening, and that includes the person that this video is about, so that's also super frightening. But I feel like this is a topic that doesn't get discussed that much, and a topic that should be discussed more, because I didn't know what a narcissist was or any of that before this relationship and before everything that happened. And I'm going to try to stay positive in this, regardless that I'm talking about things that literally broke me in half, because I'm stronger than that today, and I am a stronger person today, and I've dealt with more of the same pain recently, apparently. And so yeah, this video is going to be really long, I feel like, because I don't know how to talk about this, because I don't talk about it. So when I'm 20 now, it's coming up on 4 years, so when I was 16, yeah, the Thanksgiving after I turned 16, my birthday is in April, the Thanksgiving after I turned 16, you know, I had the whole dinner with my family, everything, and we went like after Thanksgiving shopping, whatever. It wasn't technically Black Friday because it was like Thanksgiving night. But anyway, we went shopping, and I was trying to, I don't even remember what I was trying to find. I think it was like American Horror Story movies, honestly, because I love those. And the DVDs always go on sale like after Thanksgiving, so I got the first like 3 or 4 seasons before that, and I was just trying to get the next one. So we went to Walmart and everything and didn't find them there. I'm sorry, I'm fixing this because my strings are super crooked. Anyway, we didn't find them there. So I was like, okay, well, you know, we don't want to drive all the way to Target. I want to drive all the way to Target and all that. So I suggested that we go to Kmart to look for these movies. So while we were at Kmart, like my dad's cousin or something called him and was trying to hook me up with some guy she knew or something. I don't know, but the irony of all that is that we got that phone call, and then as we were checking out, a guy that I didn't know I went to school with was the one who checked us out. And I am not going to name names because number one, he has a really unique name, and I'm sure anyone would be able to pick it out. So I don't want this getting back to him, really. Not that I'm saying anything that's not the truth, just that I don't want him to feel like I'm like calling him out on the internet because it's like some sick revenge or something, because that's not what I want to do. I just want to make people aware that these things happen, and in all honesty, he may not have control over it, and if he doesn't, it's a really sad thing, and I really wish the best for him no matter what. But anyways, I like met him that night. I'm not even sure how he knew my name, but he added me on Facebook and sent me a message, and then we went back and forth talking some, and I think we ended up adding each other on Snapchat or something. And then we like met up at school because we realized we went to the same school and all this stuff, and that was the beginning of the end of any sanity I had that year, which sounds really bad, but I allowed myself to get to this level, so it is also partially my fault and not his, and the things that we'll get there. Okay, so we started dating. We were posting together from like December 3rd to like on from there, so somewhere in that range. I'm not really positive on what our anniversary was because we had a lot. And oh god, this is so hard to talk about. Okay, so we were together and everything was great, and then I don't even remember what caused the blow up or the breakup or whatever, but he decided that he like needed time to think about things because he wasn't sure it was gonna work out or something like that. I don't know. And I was a dumb 16-year-old, so I thought it was like the end of the world, and I was like begging him not to. I'm not gonna try to act like I didn't, because I did. That was like my world. I feel like that was right around Christmas because I had got him a Christmas present. Well, I got him several Christmas presents, and I had got his little brothers and little sister Christmas presents, and didn't end up giving them to them, which really sucked. So we got in a million fights all the time, constantly, over little things, over nothing, over big things, and over a lot of lies. We got in a lot of fights about a lot of things, and it really took a toll on me. This is so uncomfortable to talk about in front of a camera because it's like, this was my whole world. This is my issue that I dealt with by myself for like 3 years. It just really makes it real talking about it. Okay. So we were a thing, and then we weren't, and then we were, and then we were, and then we were. And it got really frustrating really fast. And I'm trying to like put together a timeline of all the events that happened, because there were a lot of things that we did to hurt the other and make the other suffer, and to retaliate against each other and to try to hurt each other, which I'm not proud of myself. I can't speak for him because obviously he did a lot of things I don't understand. So side note, there was a girl that I went to school with that I used to be really good friends with, and then pretty much dropped out of nowhere just because she had some habits and did some things I didn't agree with. So I wasn't going to associate with myself with her. She is also going to play a role in this, because why wouldn't she? So for the sake of this story, we are going to call her Amber. That's nowhere near her real name, but I think if I said her real name I would probably scream, because I still have a lot of things. Is my chest getting red because I get anxiety talking about this? Okay, this video is gonna be so long, oh my god. So well, I think it was the first Valentine's Day that we were together. Right before then, there was this girl that he had added on Facebook, and I didn't know who she was or anything, but she was like really pretty, and I was like, okay, like, that's cool. Why? And then she commented, I think, something about his car, because he had like a nice car, kind of, and he was really proud of his car, and a lot of people knew that. And this whole situation, oh my god. Anyways, so all that was going on, and I was planning all this stuff for Valentine's Day, of having this like super cheesy dinner, and the little open win letters, and a lot of stuff. And yeah, and then he just kind of ghosted me, just completely blocked me out, didn't talk to me, didn't do anything. And then this girl was posting about him, this girl that he had added, she was posting about him, and she was posting about, I don't even know what all she was posting about. It was a really hard time for me, and I tried not to pay attention to the actual posts, I guess. It's like a thing for a week or two, and I got back with my ex from like freshman year. Just, I don't know, I just wanted someone, I guess. That only lasted a few days, and the main person in this story texted me and was apologizing and telling me that he wanted to bring me my Valentine's gift, and that I didn't have to forgive him, but he wanted to give me this and all this stuff. And that was really unlike him. Like, he didn't really apologize that much, so I kind of believed him. So he came over and brought me this stuffed teddy bear and some candy, and gave me some story, and I believed it, and I broke up with the guy I was with, and we got back together, and lived another few weeks, and then broke up again. And eventually we just stopped calling it dating. We would just hang out and be together, but not have people know, I guess, just because it was gonna end again soon. Anyways, I feel like I'm really close to the camera, and that's scary. That was my life for 3 years. He accused me of lying about my cousin's death for attention while I was in Florida at the funeral. He downplayed my grandpa's death, someone that I saw every week, multiple times a week, because he literally lived 3 houses down from me. And I spent like a month at the summer at the beach with him and my grandma, and he basically told me that everyone loses people and I just needed to get over it because there were people that had lost more people than me, and I had no right to be upset. And I know a lot of times he only said these things because he was mad at something I did, mad at something someone else did. But that still didn't give him the right to say those things. My parents hated the idea of us together. So he had been messaging me one day, and I didn't want my parents to find out, so I was deleting our messages. And I believe it was on Facebook Messenger, so like it showed him that I was deleting the messages, and he accused me of being with someone else and said a lot of really disgusting things to me that I don't even want to think about, honestly, because if I do, then I'm gonna go look them up and it's going to hurt a lot worse. So nothing hurt me more than him constantly being friends with the girl I told you about earlier, Amber. So he was really close with her. I think it was our senior year, so we like started this whole thing our junior year, and the next year him and her got really close. And he knew how I felt about her because I'd made it clear several times, and I made it clear several times after I saw them becoming friends. And he did not care how it made me feel or how I felt about their friendship or anything. So he just did whatever made him happy, which kind of describes the whole relationship. But we were talking about like starting things again and getting serious, and he told me he was going to his cousin's house, and then I got screenshots from multiple people showing me that he was with her on their way to a haunted attraction that is popular near us. And then that he was taking her out to eat afterwards and taking her out to eat the next day. And I completely lost it, and I don't even know what all I said to him, but I know that I definitely had built up 2 years worth of anger that I let out. He would get mad at me and send me messages of him talking to other girls, or tell me that he was talking to other girls. And one time he sent me a message from Amber talking about how she couldn't wait to see him again and have his hands all over her body, and I don't even know. I don't even know what all the message said, honestly. He did everything that he could to basically make me hate him, and I still don't hate him. I don't remember what the argument was about, or honestly most of what the arguments were about, because there were so many. And also because it was 3 years of the same thing over and over again, constantly over and over arguing, just stupid stuff, really stupid stuff. He literally got mad because a guy that I had been friends with for like ever came up to me and like stabbed me with a pencil or something. Like, it was stupid. But he could hang out with other girls, but a guy couldn't come up and do that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish with this video, because it seems like I'm just rambling at this point. All of this put me in a really dark place, and I'm not gonna lie about that to you at all, because I know it would have done the same thing to anyone else. And I know if there's anyone going through it right now, you know exactly the place I'm talking about, and you know that the only thing that brings you out of it is that person. And that's the scariest thing in the world, because they're literally in control of your whole life, and they're in control of everything you do, and you allow it. And I know if anyone else is going through this, then if you're like me, you literally let them drive you crazy. Literally crazy. Like, saying things you never say, doing things you never do, just crazy. Like you're not in control of yourself because of this person. And this relationship has had an effect on everything since then. And I'll get to that in a minute once I finish actually like talking about, I guess, the end of it all. So last year, literally around the same time, I started talking to a guy, not knowing he was friends with my ex, because my ex told me nothing. And my ex had ghosted me from his life and had a new girl, and we weren't talking. And it was a solid like few months, I think, since I talked to him. And so as soon as I started talking to this new guy, my ex messaged me and was like, "Are you talking to my friend?" And my immediate response was just to block him, because I didn't know what to do. Because I knew if I said yes, there was going to be an explosion, and if I said no, there was going to be an explosion. So there was really no way getting around an explosion. But long story short, I dated his friend, and that pretty much solidified the fact that me and him are never going to be anything ever again. Ironically, him and this friend lived in the same neighborhood because he moved in with a family member. And so when I would go visit my boyfriend at the time, my ex would ride by and yell things and just pretty much be angry that I was there. Which I probably deserved, because it was really wrong of me to date his friend, and I regret it because it was not at all what I needed, because he did not have his life together at all, and I need someone who's, they may not have their life together, but I need someone that's building to have their life together, and that wasn't either of them. So long story short with that is that pretty much solidified me and him never really being on good terms. We've talked a few times since then, but it never really ends well. So yeah, that is the story, and I'm going to continue after my camera stops overheating and tell you how it has affected everything afterwards, and affected me as a person, and affected everyone I know pretty much. Okay, so when I say it affected me and literally everyone around me, what I mean is, number one, I never had anxiety before this relationship, but now I do. And I know a lot of people are going to say that, like, it can't be created from a relationship or whatever, but this relationship brought it out of me. Before, you know, I might have been scared to, like, present a project in class or something like that. After this relationship and during this relationship, I was constantly afraid when he wasn't talking to me that he was cheating on me, because he did. I was constantly afraid that when he told me he was one place, he was somewhere else, because once again, he got caught with a girl when he told me he was with his cousin. Several other, I don't even know, I'm sure several other things created anxiety for me. But since then, I had anxiety anytime anyone laughed around me, that they were laughing at me and the situation I went through. I had anxiety ordering my food at restaurants, talking to anyone new, putting myself out there in any way. If anyone requested to follow me on any social media, I immediately thought someone was talking about me and thought the worst. And, like, I was in a bad place, and I still somewhat am, which is why this video is super, it's a good thing for me, but it's not at the same time, because I'm super afraid that people I know will find it and criticize me. But I have to say what I have to say, and I have to get my peace, and I have to move on and not let these things control me anymore, because not everyone is like him. And although this last relationship didn't help me any in discovering that people aren't all like him, because lucky me, I found another person in this world that is willing to lie to me and cheat on me. But that's a whole nother story that I need to tell you guys, because I gave you the watered down excuse that I got, and you haven't heard the newest information that I've been given. So, if I choose to put that out there as well, you guys will know. This relationship really affected me deeply. It gave me super bad trust issues. So everyone that I'm with gets to deal with that now, so that's awesome. It gave me anxiety. It put me into a downward spiral to the deepest depression I've ever known. It literally pushed me to the thought of suicide, because I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. I didn't want to go to my own graduation because I was afraid of seeing him talking to other girls. I literally spiraled from this relationship. And then I built myself back up. And I got back up on my own 2 feet, and I did everything for myself, and I really missed the place I was at before this last relationship, because it really hit me pretty hard too, that there's 2 people in the world like that. And it just made me realize that there's more than 2 people in the world like that. And I'm sure several other girls have encountered people like this that think they can do no wrong and just keep coming back and hurting you over and over again. And you may not be strong enough to be able to say no, just like I was. I was too weak to be able to tell him to leave me alone or not to come in my life or not to do this to me anymore, and I went through 3 years of it. It affected my family. My mom got to sit and watch me cry for hours over someone who never cared once if I was okay or how I was doing. Someone who did things to intentionally hurt me, and someone who just never really deserved the love that I gave to him and the effort that I put into something that he wasn't interested in having. It still affects me to this day. And I may not hate him, but I hate the way he treated me, and I hate the things he did to me. As much as I want to hate him, and as much as I want to see all the bad things that he did to me happen back to him, I know that God is going to work everything out accordingly where they belong. And that is what gets me through every day, is that I know one day God is going to be the one with the upper hand. And I know that God sees all the good that I've done and all the good that I try to do. And God also sees all the bad that I've had happen to me and the bad that I've done in return. And He's going to judge accordingly. And that's really where I'm at this point, is that I'm working on my dreams. I am working on getting a second job or a better job or something that gives me more than 3 days a week, honestly. I'm working on being a better me and a better person in general. A better daughter, a better sister, a better aunt, a better granddaughter, a better everything. A better me. And I'm looking for a better man. And I've been looking in all the wrong places. And I know that. And that's gonna change soon. And now. And I am really hopeful to finding a good man who deserves me and deserves all the good that I do for people and all the good that I put into things and all the effort that I put into things. And at this point I'm just rambling. If you're going through a situation similar to the one that I just described, you may think it's just an on and off relationship. You may just think they're saying these awful things to you because they're upset. They may come back and apologize and be the sweetest person ever. They may try to act like they did nothing wrong. I thought the same thing for the longest time. I didn't even realize he was doing anything wrong. I thought this was how relationships were. Like, we were just going through some things. We were gonna get through it. Da 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 da. We had a future plan together. But it's not healthy. It's not good for you. You may love them. I loved him. I still love him to death. I still wish nothing but the best for him, even though he literally broke me into pieces. But it's not good for you, and I suggest you get out before you get in as deep as I did. Or if you're in deeper than I was, just please get out for yourself. This is where I'm going to end this video, because if I don't, I'm literally going to have a mental breakdown talking about all this, because this gives me such bad anxiety and it's driving me literally crazy to sit here in front of a camera and tell millions of people about this terrible relationship that I went through and like speak badly about someone on camera. I feel weird, even if I'm not really speaking that badly, like I'm telling the truth, but it's, I don't know, I just feel like I'm bashing him on the internet, and it's, I don't know. I feel weird about it. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're going through a situation like this, don't ever feel alone. Like I said, my inbox is open. I love you so much, and I'll see you guys